You have no idea the amount of ignorant mess we're about to get into right now.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Terrence.
What's up?
And special guest, Tiara.
Hello.
All right, guys, we're back. This is episode 113, A Message from the King. Micah is out this week, but he will be back for our next episode. So this movie is this has been filmed in 2016, but it finally made it to Netflix after they bought it from literally 4 production companies. So that gives you a bit of information as to how good this is. What did you think, Tiara? You're the special guest, so we're going to give you a chance to go first.
This movie was terrible.
Okay. All right. That seems unfair, but go ahead.
I'm going to give it a 1.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Maybe a 1 out of 5. And that one is with Chadwick Boseman.
What's the half?
I'm going to stick with a 1.
Okay. You don't want to go too big.
I didn't care about anybody in this movie. I actually fell asleep. And I fell asleep about an hour in. I don't know why Chadwick did it. He should know better. And I think that's about it for me. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Terrence, do you want to go next, or would you like me to go?
I'll go.
All right.
Yeah, I'm along the same lines. This is not that good. It took me a week to finish this.
Yeah, because you told me that you started. That's right, a week
last
ago.
week.
Yeah.
I was like,
Why did it
hey.
take so long?
Because it's a 1 out of 5. That's why it took so long. I started it last week and I was watching it and I'm like 30 minutes in. I'm like, this is fucking boring. Okay.
Yeah.
I got other shit to do. So I turned it off. And then I came back to it last night, Friday night, and I'm like, I remember all of this.
Still
so
boring.
I skipped back. I'm like, it's still not that great. So I finally finished it last night, like 12 o'clock last night.
Yeah.
Nothing's really good about this movie. Like, nothing stands out. It's just there. Like, this is one of those movies that you'll catch on television and just as you're doing like chores. It'll just be on in the background. You probably change it to football.
Yeah.
And I'm not even gonna watch football this season.
I wouldn't fold laundry to this movie.
Yeah, it's
Damn.
That's harsh.
Yeah.
Good, but no, man. It's just boring.
Yeah.
So, okay, before
I really wanted to be good.
Right. So I actually thought the trailer for this movie was pretty good. I was like, all right, like it's kind of, it's sort of in the vein of like a Taken or something like that, right? It's like something happens to some character, their brother or their dad or somebody like that goes on this revenge streak and like kicks the shit out of the mob or what have you.
Yeah.
And that's it, right? Like, and it's a really basic premise, a really basic movie. My score for this is a 2 out of 5. 1.5 points goes to Chadwick Boseman just because I like him as an actor. The other half goes to the casting director who was able to get pretty big names for a movie that they should not have been in.
Yeah.
But that's it. I don't know that there's anything bad about the movie, but there's nothing good about the movie either, right? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't think the acting is particularly terrible, except for Alfred Molina, who I thought was really like weirdly over the top and unnecessarily.
He was Joker-esque. It was strange.
Yeah, I was like,
just
dude,
screaming through the whole movie.
I was like, you're better than this. Like, I know for a fact you are.
It wasn't fun. Like, it wasn't fun like the Taken movies. Like, like the Taken
Well, the
movie.
first one.
Well, the first one. Like, the first one was like kind of insane from probably the very beginning.
Yeah.
Whereas like this one, it just I don't feel like he really enjoyed being in the movie.
No,
I didn't get that.
This feels like a movie that Chadwick Boseman did because he was like, yo, I saw the price of these new Yeezys and I don't want to spend my own money, so I will do this movie to pay for them.
Right. It seemed like he needed something to do between Infinity War and probably like Black Panther.
Yeah, he was just like,
I'm bored.
he was like, I'll be someone with a bike chain. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
Like, what's the premise? You get to beat white people with a bike chain.
All right. Yeah, you got
me. I'm good.
And
You had me at bike chain.
and it didn't make a lot of money.
No, it did not.
It made $268,000 out of a $10 million budget.
I didn't know this. I didn't know this was in the theater at all.
Me neither.
Yeah, that's
no one said anything. About this
that's crazy to me. So he did this movie. He filmed this movie between Captain America: Civil War and Marshall, which is coming out in October, which I've seen, by the way. And so he's basically doing the Message from the King and Marshall are much smaller movies than the big Marvel movies that they're in between. I'll just say this. I can't give my full review of Marshall yet, and we'll do that when that comes out on this show, I'm sure. Marshall is about 1 billion times better than this. So it's
really? Okay.
Yeah, it's actually a very good movie. But this just feels like a waste. It really does. It feels like a waste of his talents as an actor. It feels like a waste of Alfred Molina's talents. I don't think Luke Evans is some amazing actor, but I think he's a pretty good actor.
I think he was pretty decent in this. If we were going to,
if we be honest, right? He wasn't bad.
He wasn't the worst.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know that there was anything bad. It's just like the script was kind of like.
It was very. I feel the way about this movie as I felt about Atomic Blonde. Like, it was just very flat.
Yes, I would. I haven't seen Atomic Blonde, but I would agree. It is a very flat movie for a movie that's supposed to be this revenge, action movie. It's like
a slow burn.
Yeah,
but it was a trick candle, so the fucking flame never went out.
right.
The whole way through, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is gonna happen, dog? I'm waiting for this shit to kick in the gear. Nothing ever happened, and I'm like,
right. When he went and bought the bike chain, I was like, all right, here we go.
And he did it like twice. I'm like,
yeah, like I thought it was gonna be. Okay, maybe this movie, because I made the mistake of going on, like, seeing the score on Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, ooh, that's not good. I didn't do that. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it's just, like, the storyline isn't good, but, like, the action sequences are pretty, like, fun. No. It was, like, one, and then it was so sporadically shot. I was just like, I just didn't really care.
That's a pet peeve of mine. Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's because that director can't shoot action. Like, that's...
Who directed this?
Fabrice DeWells.
And what did he do?
He has done nothing I've ever heard of.
Oh, Fabrice DeWells. I don't know this person.
Nope. I did something called The Ordeal in 2004. I don't know what that is. He's a Belgian director. So.
Oh, okay.
If this is his first real stint at go at American films, no. This is
stay over there.
Yeah, this is a bad start. I also didn't care for the cinematography in this. Like the shooting in it they were trying to go for sort of an indie feel, I thought.
Yeah.
But it's not an indie movie. Like, guys, this is Black Taken. This is Blaken. All right? Like,
they had a blueprint.
Just fight. Like, that's it.
Blaken.
Yeah. This is the best I could do.
Okay.
On short notice. I'm going to give this movie as much of my comedic effort as it gave me as a film.
I wanted this to be T'Challa Begins so bad.
Yeah, that's what the trailer looked like.
And then when I was watching it, I was just like, I don't know if I'm trying to force myself to like this movie or this movie is just like really, really bad. And it turned out to just be really, really bad.
Yeah, don't force yourself to like this movie.
It really was an hour and 42 minutes too long, y'all. It's just...
You're not wrong.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's not good. So
I did not enjoy myself, especially once it took a fucking dark turn.
Yeah,
at the third into that, I was like,
yeah, I was.
What the fuck is going? Yeah, we'll talk about it, but it was just bizarre.
So a one, and I'm giving it a high 2.
That's almost
so that's
halfway there to a 5.
Yeah, if you combine all three of our scores. Okay. Yeah, so all right, let's get into it. We see Chadwick Boseman's character, Jacob King. He arrives at an airport in Los Angeles where he's being questioned by the police or some sort of like border security type of group or whatever. And they're basically saying like, hey, you came to LA, you only got $600 in your pocket, no credit card. What are you doing here? Are you trying to be an illegal immigrant? I was like, oh, are they trying to take a stance on something? No, they're not. They just mentioned that, and that is just completely disregarded. I was like, oh, maybe it'll be a deeper message. There was no deeper message. Yeah. And he's basically using his, T'Challa accent. He's like, no, I'm here to check on my sister, basically. And so they're like, all right, it's cool.
Yeah.
I was like, wait.
Wait
But
a minute.
they were afraid that he was going to stay here legally to drive a cab.
Yeah. That was because he's a cab driver.
Right.
He says he's a cab driver back home, and so they're like, oh, so you're trying to,
Mm-hmm.
because African immigrants, all you guys know how to do is drive cabs. That seems offensive, but okay. So he's like, nah, I'm from South Africa. I'm just trying to look out for my sister. And we know he's from Africa because he's in LA and he's wearing a leather jacket the whole time. So obviously the weather is not an issue for him. So
Yeah.
I was like, why don't you just have him go to New York in the wintertime, dude? Like, it's a little too hot for a leather jacket. But he looks cool. So
He never takes it off either.
he never does.
No, you're right. Yeah. He never changes clothes at all. Ever.
Gross.
It's a little smelly. So he goes to get he has $600, right? And I immediately, when they said that, like, I had this running calculator in my head of like his expenses.
It's like he ran out of money in 2 days.
Yeah, he's like, I have $600 and he's staying for a week in LA. I'm like,
Yeah.
dog, you're gonna starve to death.
Even the Border Patrol was like, where are you going to find a hotel with $600 for a week? And he was like, I would make it last. And I'm like,
Like, no, you're not,
okay,
nigga.
no.
Nah, dude, you need to go to Idaho or some shit. Like, you better stay at a
I'm like, did you know you were coming to LA?
like, are you staying at a Red Roof Inn or like a Motel 6 where they leave the light on for you? Because I don't think you got enough money to make.
And I don't even think you got enough of that.
Yeah.
No, not for a
600
week.
Not in LA? No.
Hell no. So he finds some scumbag motel that he apparently has to pay $65 a night, which is way too much money for this place, which looks like the apartment complex that Daniel and his mother from the Karate Kid stay in. It looks like a piece of shit. And so he goes there and he's walking to his room. He sees this woman with a kid, and they're just sort of ignored. And he makes it to his disgusting motel room for, again, $65 a night, overpriced. So then he heads out. He finds out where his sister used to live, and he heads over to her house, and he ends up meeting one of her neighbors named Trish. And he asks about her, and she's like, "Look, so I used to live in California for a while. I don't know if Trish is from California originally, but she has a way about her that is very accurate to people over there. Like, I've met a couple when I used to live out there. I met a couple people like that, and they're just like, "Come on in, man. Like, it's cool, man." I'm like, really?
Very like hipster.
Yeah, like it was not even hipster. It's like this weird hippie-ish thing, and I'm like, I don't really know you. Like, you're way too friendly, but like there is that shtick. So I was kind of like, oh, this is like surprisingly accurate.
Yeah.
But she's like, yeah, I knew your sister. She was cool. We used to hang out. And then she's like kind of weirdly coming on to him. I'm like, slow down, Trish. It seems kind of odd.
Yeah.
But she was cute, so I was like, I'll allow it. But
Yeah, that girl was fine.
Was she?
Yes, she was.
yeah, no, she's going. The scene later, I was like, okay.
I mean, look. Anyway. We'll get there.
That scene is hilarious because I'm like, so you're just gonna let this happen?
Yeah.
Okay, this is gonna happen. I wouldn't have stopped her. So she's basically talking about how. Okay, one of the things I really didn't like about this movie is the storyline is overly complicated for what this should be. And I'm like, there's way too many moving parts, right? And so she tells Jacob that Bianca, his sister, was dating a guy named Alex that Jacob knows, right? Who he met once, right? He was like, oh, they came to South Africa once.
So he did meet her. Okay.
Okay, I thought that she married him.
Yeah,
after she moved to LA.
But I think they came back to South Africa at one point, right? So he didn't really care for him, but he was like, yeah, I met him. And Alex had a son, and Alex bailed on Bianca and left the son with Bianca, and so like that situation exists. I'm like, why do I care about any of that? And you come to find out, like, you care about like this much of that story.
I
like,
still don't care about the Alex thing. Like, even like with the little kid thing, I feel like they came up with like the kid.
And that little nigga wasn't even little.
Yeah.
No, by the
like
time
a
we
good 13.
Like,
no,
wait,
by the time we met him, that kid was like a grown ass man.
I'm thinking this kid is probably like maybe like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
No, that
when we
kid
meet
was
him, he's
like
like
16.
19 years old. I'm like,
Sup,
I was
sup,
like,
Jacob? How much you bench, dog? Like, come on, man.
Like that kid knew everything about what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little too much.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Gross.
More on that later. More on that later. So she like kind of breaks all that down, and I'm writing down notes. I'm like, wait, like I feel like I've got like a detective thing where I've got like strings going like Alex is related to like all right,
It doesn't matter anymore.
like
I think I stopped.
I
caring at
still
that
don't
point.
even get it.
there are a couple moments in the story I'm like, wait, who is that and who are they related
Like
to?
the
And why do I care?
We find out that the Alex thing really doesn't. Well, it kind of matters at the end,
But not really.
yeah, but not really.
No, it really didn't. So he finds out about that, and then Trish is like, "Hey, so Jacob says to Trish, he's like, who was she paying rent to? Who was Bianca paying rent to?" And she goes, "Oh, this woman right down the road. How convenient."
Right.
She's like, "Just go down to this White House down at the end of the block. That's who she was paying rent to." All right, cool. So he heads down there, goes and talks to this woman who's a pretty popular character actor. She's been in like a billion
I've
episodes.
seen her in a bunch of stuff.
And she's always the exact same person.
Yeah.
She's like the shitty landlord or a shitty neighbor. She's just kind of just a shitty person. And so she's like, "Look, your sister was a drug addict. She was strung out. She looked like shit. When I first met her, she was pretty. The last time I saw her, she looked like garbage. Like, sorry."
Basically.
And, I was
Yeah.
like, damn, we want to soft pedal it a little
Yeah.
bit. Like, your sister was a whore. Like, wow, Jesus. Like, just take it easy. I'm from Africa.
Yeah, that's still my sister.
Like, goddamn.
We may not talk. That's
Like, how
my sister.
long was she in LA? I don't remember.
They didn't say.
They didn't?
No.
Yeah.
So there's like no time frame. There's no
We
like
don't know how long this movie lasts. We can assume it was a week.
or like
if that.
or a year and a half. Who knows?
Sure.
He had $600.
Yeah, he only had
$1 a
9
day.
minutes to be there. He was in LA from Thursday to Friday afternoon.
That's why he never changed his clothes. He was
Yeah,
there that
I
long.
guess.
He was like, "Yo, I didn't even get sweaty. I don't need to change out of these clothes. I'm good." So he goes down to this woman's house to find out, and her face looks like a catcher's mitt. Yo, she has so many wrinkles. It drives me crazy. She is very old looking, weathered, and she does. I'm sorry. But she's like, "Look, your sister was trash. Sorry, not sorry." And so she's like, "Look, a guy helped her move out named Zico, and you need to go find out about Zico." I'm like, "Who the fuck?" Again, I go back to my chart of like characters. I'm like, "Who the fuck is Zico? Who is this
The
character?"
Asian dude?
No, no. Zico turns
was
out
like
to
the
be
Russian dude or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck he was, like
Whatever, man.
so-
Croatian. I don't know.
yeah. And so she's like, "Look, you need to head down to like Croatia's car wash and
Hang a left at the gate, and then meet up with Johnny and Zico over there, and they'll tell you where your sister is." I'm like,
I'm like, there's way too many.
Sergei Klesiak and his buddies.
Right, exactly. Like, who are all these Russians?
oh, we forgot about what's her name's boyfriend that kind of walks in,
Oh, yeah.
and he was like,
The actor.
what was the point?
The
Oh
actor.
yeah, that's right, the actor. This is literally him trying to like
This is how I'm trying
get
to
a
bake
role
her.
for an actual movie.
But it
in
was
real
fun-
life.
But it was funny because she's like, "Hey, this is Bianca's brother." He was like, "Yeah, whatever." I was
Yeah.
like, "Yo, that's rude." Like,
Yeah, and the thing is-
that offended me. I was like,
He
I
stuck
don't
his
like
hand
that.
out and everything. He was just like,
Ah, fuck
cool,
you,
and
like-
walked away. I was like, I don't like you.
Like, nah, dude, you are not an acceptable human being. You do not know how to behave. So Jacob goes down to this car wash and he's like, "Yo, I'm looking for Zico," and they're like, "There's no Zico here." I'm like, one of these dudes is Zico. Look at these guys, and they're all looking shady. When he mentions Bianca, they're like, "Oh, no, I never heard of her." Like,
What?
Like who?
I was like,
who?
"Yo, it's super obvious." They're like, "No, we've never heard of her." The acting in the scene is less than stellar.
Like, I've never heard of this girl named Bianca. Who do you speak of?
Right. Like fucking robots. It was ridiculous. So he's like, "All right, cool." And so then he goes to a grocery store because he gets a box of Bianca's stuff from Trish, and she's got all these like just random items. Like, who keeps an old pack of empty cigarettes? Like, she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I must keep these for prosperity." Like, why?
I don't know.
And then she has like, I don't know, a newspaper cutout about this Korean market. Again, that doesn't make any sense.
And I don't know why he would think to go there.
No, it makes literally no sense at all.
I feel like we didn't get to know Bianca, the character, at all.
Not at all.
I know we don't know anything.
She's
about
like
her.
it's just like a voicemail, and she's like, "I need your help."
And like weird flashbacks to them playing soccer in Africa.
And running on the beach.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Is this just basically a story about like black people don't come to America? Like this shit is fucked up.
I feel like this
Yes.
movie
This
was
is like a weird slavery analogy. Is that what this is? Like we're gonna try to make something out of this movie.
Well, we know that Jacob King has an interesting interaction with some cops later.
He does.
I think that may have been trying to have a message. Was that supposed to be a message?
Yeah.
You know what?
Like
They were
message?
set up.
Yeah, you know what? No, it wasn't. But we're gonna make it. We're gonna make something out of this movie. That is our goal.
Girl, I guess.
There's something here. There has to be. So he's looking through this like sort of bag of random things. Again, there's a pack of Marlboros with an empty bag. I don't know why you would keep that. And he finds like a bag or something from this Korean grocery store, and he's like, I'm gonna go down to this Korean grocery store.
Newspaper clipping.
No, I just looked. It's actually like an old bag, like a brown paper bag, right? That's why I thought it was a newspaper.
Brown paper bag.
The same reason why she kept a memory card and cigarette cases.
Is that where the memory card came from?
Yes.
Okay, totally missed that.
Oh, yeah, and yeah.
And that's a big
Yeah.
part of this movie. Totally missed
Why?
Okay,
Right.
look, we'll get there because there is something a part of that whole tape thing, and I'm like, you just never addressed it. And it's a big part of it. Okay,
We'll get to that.
God damn it. So he goes to this Korean grocery store. He goes up to this one person and he's like, I have a question. They're like, nope, no black man, don't talk to you. Nah, son,
That's
nah.
basically what she does. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And he's like, go talk to this other woman. And so he goes over and talks to this woman, and she's just like, nah, son, nah, I don't know. And she starts like freaking out again for no reason.
Right.
He's just like, have you seen this race? She's like, no.
Yeah, like, did she know anything?
No.
Maybe
No.
she did. I don't know.
It didn't make any sense. And so her son,
Maybe
who
she
speaks
didn't like
English,
Bianca.
I guess not. So her son comes over who speaks English, and he's like, "What's going on, man?" And
He's like, I just asked her a simple question, and your mom starts bugging. Like, what the fuck is wrong with her?
why is your mom freaking out in Korean? I don't get it. But the kid basically says, "Look, she's basically telling you, why don't you go check the morgue to see if you can find your sister there?"
That's a big leap. Well, like, why?
damn,
Like,
bro.
why would you think to tell someone that? Unless you didn't know anything, right?
Right. That seems a little weird. And so she's like, take your ass to the morgue. Get the fuck out of my store. Hurry up and buy. And so
Why now? I'm sorry.
racist.
That's offensive.
yeah, that was pretty offensive. So then he goes to the morgue, and okay, this scene, are morgues set up like this? Like every morgue I've ever seen in a TV show or a movie is the wall, and it's got the doors, not just a fucking open meat locker with just dead bodies everywhere. And they're just like, I don't know, let's check this one. Too old. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
I don't know.
really
I've
weird.
never been in a morgue.
Me either, but
I've
look,
never been to more either. I don't know.
I
don't want to have to
I don't
go.
want to go to a morgue.
I don't want to ever have to be in a situation where I have to identify the body of anyone I know.
Maybe there's a lot of murder in this place, and they was like, "Yo, these cabinets cost too much. Let's just take all that shit out and get racks."
If we're gonna try
Racks
to make
on
something
racks
out of this
on-
movie, I guess what I got from that scene was that's the morgue where there are a bunch of people who no one's looking for them anyway. That's what I got
Doe's.
from that scene.
Just a bunch of
John
John
and
Does.
Jane Doe's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's
I guess.
Yeah.
So he goes to the morgue, and he's talking to that one black dude who is like another character actor. He's been in like a billion things. And so he pulls out a couple of people, and then he pulls out this other woman, and Chadwick Boseman notices this tattoo that the body has on the arm, which in a flashback, we know that his sister has that exact same
Right.
tattoo. So it's obviously his sister. But he tells the guy at the morgue, like, no, that's not her. And then he walks off, and then he kind of has a breakdown.
why?
I guess it's to kind of keep himself undercover, right? Like, so he doesn't draw attention to himself. Because if he says, "Hey, that's my sister," then it's like a bunch of paperwork, and then it's like it becomes this whole thing, I
Okay.
guess. So I sort of understood that, but they don't. they show her face and it's like brutally.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was pretty
Beaten.
fucked up.
Yeah.
I was just like,
Like they cut off
Is
cut
this-
off her eyes, they chopped off her foot,
yeah,
all that stuff.
which they didn't mention the whole foot thing until later on. I was like,
I was like,
What?
Yeah, he was like, they cut off our foot. I was like,
That's
I didn't know that.
That's a pretty good accent, Terrence.
I didn't know. It's very easy. It's not that. It's not a good one. Like, look,
his accent in Black Panther is way better than this.
is it? No, it's not.
I think it's.
You
It's
sound
the
exactly
same
the same.
fucking accent.
I think it-
I feel
I think
like
you just didn't like this
the
movie.
quality of the movie.
Okay, that's fair. That's.
is
It's
skewing
the
that
same.
because it's the same fucking accent.
I feel like he was just like, I'll do this movie if I could do the same accent. Because like his character was probably like from New York originally, and he was just
Yeah.
like,
Nah, I need
So-
he,
practice.
Are we
he was
doing-
like, look, yeah, basically like, look, I got 2 more of these movies coming up. Like he's
gotta
got to
keep
be from
practicing.
South Africa. Fuck that. You change
So
this.
are we to assume that Chadwick Boseman likes doing South African accents or African accents?
I
in
feel like
general?
that's
Yeah,
true.
sure, why not?
Yeah.
I feel like this is just. I think Terrence is right. I feel like he was just like, look, I got to keep practicing. So. Like, let me do it. And when he went to do Marshall, they were like, Thurgood Marshall is not African. He was like, fine.
I'll just use
do
my
it.
regular
I'll
voice.
use my regular voice. But in this movie,
I feel like I don't know what his regular voice sounds like.
He just sound like a nigga from New York.
Really?
because he is
Because I've only seen him in Black Panther and
42. Get on up.
didn't he have like a Southern accent in 42?
No, because Jackie Robinson, I don't think was from the South.
Did he have an accent in what was that James Brown movie?
Get on up.
Get on
No,
up?
He,
No.
he was affecting a voice.
Oh,
But not
Which-
an accent. But
I don't
not
think-
like a hard.
I don't think I've ever seen him like
Very
give like
good.
just like an interview with just as himself. I've never seen that.
You never had it. Like he just sounds like a
Yeah.
nigga from New York.
Okay.
He does.
Spoiler alert. I got to interview him. Yeah, he just kind of sounds like, in person, he sounds like just a regular dude from New York.
Cool.
Are you kind of jealous that I got to interview him?
Yeah.
Good.
Couldn't call nobody. Okay.
I was trying to go, nigga.
It was, I only could take, it could only be me, and it was in
Was
the
he in
middle of the day.
Baltimore?
Yes. I got to meet Reginald Hudlin, too.
Huh. Terrence, we didn't get a call.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fucked up, dog.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't. That's all I got to say.
You want to meet Chadwick Boseman too?
I wanted to be there. So at this point,
Oh yeah, a message from the king. That was one of my
Oh.
favorite parts. What he actually said.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, he actually said,
He said it.
No,
He said it.
He's like- he said, "This is the message from the king."
I was like, ha, ha. Yeah, you did
this
it.
guy fucking nailed it. So after he comes back, okay, this scene also did not make any sense. He comes back to the hotel after finding his sister in the morgue, and he goes back, and there is a prostitute blowing a dude in his hotel room.
Like, this is my. I'm like, I know I didn't walk into the wrong room.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
And then the guy who owns the hotel, he's like, "Oh yeah, sometimes I have to make that room free. So you're in this new room now." I'm
He's like, this is the only room with where the porn still works. I'm like, well, nigga, what the fuck didn't you tell me that shit before?
that
why
part
would
didn't
you-
make sense.
Why would you put me in that room?
Right, asshole. I'm like, I get a free night.
But that's a set up because of the girl who was given the
But there was
blowjob.
way too much serendipity in this movie.
Yeah, like
I
there,
was like, I'm just like, okay.
yeah, there really
you.
was. So after
Stupid.
seeing him get, or after him walking in on somebody getting blown, Chadwick Boseman is like, look, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I need to go down to the hardware store. Let me go down to Home Depot, because apparently they sell bike chains, and he proceeds to take a bike chain, wrap it around his hand, and go back down to the Croatian car wash and beat the fucking brakes off these dudes. Look, not only was the fight scene, it was okay, but I appreciated the fact that like he used the bike chain to punch somebody with, but he also used it to just generally whip people with, which I was
Like he whipped people with it, he
You know
dragged
what?
people with it.
That
and
gave
I'm
me a
like,
sense of
that-
satisfaction.
I was
Oh, yeah,
okay with that.
Those were my favorite sequences. In the
Yeah,
movie.
like
when he was
they-
beating away people with a bike chain.
Yeah, whooping them too.
Look, I don't like to give advice out to others, but look, if you're in Antifa, this is a pretty good weapon if you're going to fight Nazis. Let's go pick up a couple of bike chains at Home Depot and go to work.
The best part about these sequences when he was beating the shit out of these white folks was he always left like an exclamation mark. Like, he beat the shit out of this guy. He poured bleach on his face.
Yes.
And then they just shoved the fucking air conditioner out the window for no reason. Like, bitch, like, what the fuck?
Why? Make sure it's hot in here. It's L.A.
What is
Okay, 1.5 now.
For throwing the exclamation point.
that?
Yeah.
Like, just for no reason.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. I was like, was he trying to expose the guy to light? Like,
I
does
don't
he
know,
think
like he was a
light and
fucking
bleach is a
vampire.
thing? Like, ah!
Like, ah. And then that's when he said, this is a message from the king.
Yeah.
He's like, you tell
He
him.
said, you tell him this is a message from the king. I'm like,
They be like, they
from
don't know
the
you.
king? Yeah, who the fuck are you? Like, nigga, shut up. You ain't that special.
Maybe
It makes no
Funny to me.
sense. He was like, look, I'm from Africa. It's hot. We don't have air conditioners. Fuck that. You don't have an air conditioner either.
Well, maybe they think that all black people are at least kings or queens. Isn't that what we tell ourselves anyway?
Yes. Nobody was a janitor.
No.
Never nobody was related to a janitor. Everybody was a king. That's amazing. Yeah, look, it's a little bold. Tell him it's a message from the king. Like, all right.
They don't know you, dude.
Like, come on.
Like,
now.
who the fuck is that?
Like, who the fuck is the king?
It's like, who?
Like
Martin Luther? He's been dead for 40 years. What the fuck's going on?
They didn't know Beyonce's
Where are you from,
last name.
Zamunda? Get out of here. By the way, I would also support a Coming to America remake with Chadwick Boseman. I would support that.
As
I
what,
would.
as Eddie Murphy's character?
Yes, I would.
As like his son? Eddie Murphy's son?
Nah, he would be too young. He's too old. Well,
You know what? Fuck it.
Chadwick Boseman looks
Well,
like-
he's too dark to play Thurgood Marshall too, but he pulled that off. So
Eddie,
How is Eddie Murphy now? What, 60?
he's like 57 years old.
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
close to
And Chadwick Boseman's what, 35?
no,
40?
he's 40.
40. Older than Luke Evans,
older than.
who looks like he's 45.
Oh.
He does.
he-
Oh wow,
Can he do
I didn't
comedy?
notice. I didn't notice the titties in this scene. Oh, hello. So
Were they?
then after pushing air conditioners out of the window, Chadwick Boseman heads back to Trisha's house because she's like, "Hey, I'm having a party later on. You should come through." Again, this is very similar to some of the parties I went to in California. I was like, "This is how we rolling."
Where they had drugs?
Yes, not fucking cocaine, but other party drugs. But it was a good time. But so Chadwick Boseman goes and like Trisha's like, hey, like she's like dancing, she's fucking high as shit, looking all fine. And he's like, I need to talk to you. And she's like, all right, come on, let's go in the back and talk. And then she's just doing these fucking fat rails of cocaine, like a boss, I guess. And she's like, oh yeah, let me tell you about your sister some more. And then she just proceeds to be kind of like, yeah, we trying to fuck or
Yeah, she takes him to the bathroom. And like her boyfriend is standing right there.
like he's right outside the door. And she's like kissing all on him. I guess this is what cocaine does to you. It's a hell of
And
a drug.
the boyfriend is just watching. Doesn't he like come in and like he just starts crying?
Yeah, look, her boyfriend was, and I don't really like this term, but her boyfriend was kind of a fuckboy. Like he was just like, no, you're so cool and black. Why are you stealing my girlfriend away? I was like, this is really weird.
Once they
It's
go
not
black.
acceptable.
You know what happened? You heard the
This is very
same.
unacceptable. Like this
This whole scene is
And he's
weird.
and he's from Africa, so he's black.
the funny part, he just sat there. He was like,
I
so
guess.
this is what you do in America.
It's like, okay.
Like I got no.
Like,
I
he
got,
didn't stop her at all.
know. he
No,
was like-
no, she's telling him these like, oh, she was hooked up with these guys and this is what happened and blah blah blah. But at the same time, she's like kissing on him and then goes down to like blow him, and the entire time he's just like,
He's like, well, all right.
Yeah, he's like, tell me more. Like, he's not fighting her. Not even like, no, you don't have to do
Like,
that.
yeah.
I'm an honorable guy. He's like, no, keep going.
that shit was funny. I'm like,
I guess.
I mean, look,
Look.
this was the realest thing in the movie because I was like, yeah. I mean, keep talking. I mean, you're gonna get, you'll be busy
Right.
in a second, but I mean, tell me as much as you can before we get there. I just thought it was a very odd scene, but also I completely understood his perspective.
Yeah.
And so yeah, she gets down to like blow him, and then she like unzips his pants, and her boyfriend walks in, and he's like, What are you doing? He's like, even though this is my favorite category on Pornhub, I really don't accept this. And he just stands there and like he's just like a straight bitch.
And like the girlfriend starts to
She
comfort
starts
him.
laughing.
Yeah, she's laughing, but she's also like, oh no, you're cool, you're fine. I'm like, but you were just about to blow this other dude like right in front of him, so yeah.
Yo, Danny Rand is upset. He kind of looks like it. I am the Iron Fist.
Because they all look alike.
That is true.
It's true. So in the midst of that situation, she leaves her phone sitting there, which is how I know she was on drugs. Never leave your phone. And so he takes her phone and texts who he assumes is the drug
scene
dealer.
Is hilarious. I'm sorry. I'm sitting there watching the scene when she's about to go down. He's just like,
Go ahead.
like
Don't let me get in your way, girl. Look, I want you to live your best life.
Men are trash.
Yeah, no, that's
Look.
true. Like you're right.
You just
but
saw
I
your
would not have
sister's dead
stopped her
body.
either.
You just saw your sister's dead body, and you're about to get blown by her friend/neighbor who has a boyfriend. While getting information about your dead sister. Men are trash.
she started it.
Yeah, I mean that's a. I think Terrence's response is accurate. She started it. Look, he was just trying to give her a message from the king. All right? I don't think that's wrong. So he texts Frankie with her phone, and he texts him like, "Oh, we're partying, we need you," and scumbag Tom Felton shows up, aka Draco Malfoy, and he's like, he's clearly the drug dealer. He's Frankie, and Chadwick Boseman's character just walks up. He's like, "Yo, how much for an 8-ball?" Nigga, keep it low, like, shh. Trying to blow all my shit up, like, goddamn. And he's like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" He's like, "You're the dealer. Like, are you not her drug dealer?" And
Wait, what?
he's like,
Drugs? What are you talking about?
What are drugs? I'm just a, I'm just a member of the community with a neck tattoo. Like, you're a drug dealer. So Tom Felton's like, nah, I deal in pleasure. Okay, buddy. Okay. Via cocaine. And so he's like, nah, I'm out of here. Fuck
Technically, he's not wrong.
that. Technically, he's not.
I've never been on cocaine. I don't know what.
Me
happened
neither.
when you're
Don't
on
know what it's
cocaine.
like.
No, and that's not something I never need to be on.
I'll never know.
Yeah.
Oh, hey guys, you want to do cocaine?
Nope.
I'm good.
I'm fine.
I'm actually totally good, guys. Like weed, sure. Cocaine feels a little.
Weed indeed.
Yeah. Like cocaine? Yeah, that's mighty white of you. Sorry, I'm okay. And so then Tom Felton's character walks outside. He leaves and tells Trish like, "Hey, you're cut off. I'm not selling to you anymore because your fucking African homeboy just fucking tried to blow my spot up." And this is another great scene where T'Challa walks outside, pulls out the old fucking Wakanda bike chain and beats the fucking brakes off of Draco Malfoy. And he doesn't just do it like on the sly.
He does it
He
in front of
beats it
everybody.
in front of everybody. Yo, I was like, damn, like you didn't even take him around the corner.
I noticed that too. Yeah.
By the way, when this trailer first came out, I thought he was beating people up with like rosary beads.
Some kind of religious
Yeah.
beating.
Yeah. I thought like message from the king was like, like God, the king of, the almighty king. He's like, no, that's me. Yeah, so he beats the piss out of Tom Felton, and he damn near chokes him out. And he's like, "Look, give me the name of your boss." And he's like, and he basically says like, "Oh, I work for Duke" or some shit like that.
Was it Duke?
Was it at this point? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Duke
names.
was the top Russian dude, right?
Yeah,
Was it?
Huh?
Was he?
yeah,
Yeah.
he was the dude. He was the dude in the car later on.
Oh, okay.
Again, I have to go back to my like chart and try to figure out who all these
I don't
fucking
remember
people
seeing
are.
Duke until the very end of the movie.
No, he shows up at one point like outside of the dentist's office, which we'll get to.
Okay.
He left another exclamation point. He did. Not only did he choke him out, he just slammed his head
Yeah.
in the car at the very end. Bitch, like, that's how you got to end the fight. It
I
wasn't
mean,
a
look,
fight, but
No, that was a beating. That was not a
Yes.
fight at all.
Like he left his calling card.
Yeah, I mean that fight was slightly unfair because he came at him.
was.
Dude, he came at him like that dude was just sitting in the car and he just came in with those fucking rosary beads and just like, boom, hit him straight up.
Beat the shit out of that dude. That
was great.
Okay with that.
No, it's totally fine. So then T'Challa's walking by a grocery store and has another serendipitous moment with a prostitute who was blowing the dude in the hotel room. She happens to be stacking groceries at this grocery store, and she sees Jacob in a diner eating on his last couple of dollars, I would assume, at this point, because somehow he still has money left. But I guess beating people with a bike chain is free. So,
How much was the bike chain?
Yeah, I was about to
How
ask
much
that
is a
too.
bike chain? I'm going to go ahead and look that up now.
$3-4. I mean, it was a heavy duty one because he put in work a couple times with that bike chain. I mean, this wasn't for a Huffy. I can tell you that. This is like a Lance Armstrong Tour de France bike chain.
$10.
$10?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's not bad. So what? He spent, let's say,
He had to pay everything up front when he got to the hotel.
so how many days?
He
3-4
said a
days?
week.
4? Like
He
five?
said a week.
He
though.
said a week.
So that's
Yeah.
$300,
Sure.
right? 60. It was a 65.
65 in a day.
It's about $35, $350. So he's got
Okay.
$250 left.
Right. So he bought a bike chain.
on a bike
Actually,
chain.
you know what?
That's
So yeah, I can see how you can
$240.
make it last.
$240.
How much did he eat at the diner? $12, $13 maybe?
I don't know, like $10.
Yeah.
He probably
So he
ate
got,
maybe
like-
like once or twice the entire time when he wasn't being.
So did they
people
have a
up.
round trip ticket?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the ticket was already bought.
Okay.
Yeah.
$600, $350, $10 for dinner or whatever.
And he goes back to a hardware store to buy a couple of pieces of equipment later. So
Yeah, he probably spent like another like
Where'd he get the bleach from?
$60. What bleach?
The bleach that he poured on the dude's face.
Oh no,
Oh,
that
it was
was
just
that
in
was
the-
in like the
Oh,
stock
okay.
room.
yeah. No, that was free.
Okay.
That part of the
Bleach was
ass
free.
whooping was free.
So we're looking at probably like $100 at this point.
So monetarily,
Got
this
left.
movie is pretty accurate. Actually, it stays within its
Okay.
its
Was
reason.
budget? Okay.
How did he get around? He walked around for a little bit. He
yeah,
didn't
he,
get a rental
he
car.
took that girl's car.
Yeah, later on.
But he paid her, so that was like another $50 or so.
Okay. Oh well, because he does get money later on. So
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
yeah.
So he serendipitously runs into this woman, this prostitute, at this diner, and he's like talking to her. He's like, "Hey, I remember you sucking that guy's dick for cash, and I remember you had a daughter." And she's like, "Yeah, I do. And you know, I blow dudes, but that's not my full time job. That's my passion. But my full time job is stacking groceries." This movie's trash. So they have a conversation, and it's meant to be like establishing their relationship, which I didn't feel was important.
no, they definitely tried to force it, and I
Yeah.
didn't appreciate that at all.
No, and luckily it wasn't a love story or anything because that would seem ridiculous.
Yeah.
So then Jacob goes the next day. And he borrows that woman's car. I don't remember her name. I just wrote prostitute. I don't remember her name.
Her name was Kelly.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
yeah.
reading it on Wikipedia now. So
All right. So you ain't remembering. Look at that. So he borrows her fucking Camry from like 1,000 years ago, and he drives back over to Trisha's house, and he gets all up in Trisha's face. I thought he was like, "You did not finish what you started last night," but that was not why he was there. And so she's like, "Dude, you're like freaking me out, and you know, I don't like you and all that stuff." I'm like, "That's not what that cocaine was saying yesterday. Cocaine is a hell of a drug."
it was pretty rough for her. At
Yeah,
first.
he did. I was like, oh.
I was like, I don't-
Bro.
I was like, this
Take it
is
easy.
we're getting into think piece territory right here.
Yeah, apparently the message from the king is abuse. That's unacceptable. Your culture is not your culture does not allow for this kind of behavior. Come on, man. So I don't remember what they talk about because I don't really give a shit. But
It was about like her husband
Yeah.
and what happened with her and her husband. He's like, tell me what happened.
and,
I'm
and
like,
a
I
little
don't
bit
know.
about the kid, and then that's when he says like, "Oh, she's dead."
He's like, I
They
found her in the
tortured her.
morgue.
Yeah,
They tortured
and-
her. And they
cut
cut
off
her
her
foot. I was like, what?
they hit her.
I'm
They
sorry.
hit, they hit her
That
with
shit
the.
made me laugh a little bit.
No, I laughed too because it was like they hit her with the Kunta Kinte. I was like, there was a note. There was a note next to it. All it said was Toby. I don't know why.
And that's when she's like, "Oh, well, I cared about her. Where were you? You
Where
haven't
the
been
fuck
around."
were you?
And
Like,
that's
where
when
were
find
you?
out
He
the whole-
stopped, and I'm like, please don't hit this woman.
Yeah,
I was like, the music started playing. He stopped. I'm like, shit, just keep going, nigga.
I really
going.
thought he was gonna hit her.
You about to go to jail.
He was like, I have a message from you. I have a message for you. It's from the king. Throw out her back window. But that's not what happened.
Pull that chain out and just like,
Just
no,
pick
do
it
that,
up.
please.
Just start beating her with like, dude, this is a really unacceptable role for you. Is this why you didn't want to see this movie? Like, come on, man. You think Chadwick Boseman will ever play a villain in a movie?
No,
I kind of want him to.
I want him to though. Yeah,
Yeah, like do it. Like villains always have a good time.
Why not? He's got that signature walk of his.
actually, he would be really
Calm down. Calm down over there. That shit wasn't even low key.
That was actually kind of automatic. I didn't really.
Yeah,
I didn't know
exactly.
that I did that. Yeah, I like to see
They're
him
just
as a villain.
subconsciously.
Yeah, listen. You wait till Black Panther comes out.
Look,
Okay.
as many fine black women in that movie, you wait till Black Panther comes out.
Yeah.
I will be fine with it. That is okay. Looking like a fine grandma, Angela Bassett. It's fine. She
And,
could be an elder.
What's her name? Chick from Walking Dead. Denai Guerrera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She fine.
And what's her name? And my
Lupita?
girl Lupita Nyong'o. Get
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
here. Hell yeah.
Man, black woman.
Yo, that movie's gonna be so good. This movie is not good.
They should make everyone watch this movie before they air Black Panther at the theater.
With this?
Yes.
Just make Black Panther look a million times better. Like, wow,
Like-
this is what happens when you write a good script.
Like everyone just shows up to the theater, then they air this movie. They show this movie.
We're like,
Like,
what the fuck?
fuck is this? You have riots. Don't do that. This is not good.
No.
You want to riot? This is how you start a riot. You play this bullshit in place of Black Panther.
Yo, I would be so mad if like 9 production companies came up and like, yo, don't do this to me.
But who would really notice except like y'all? Because we're clearly the only people who saw this movie.
Yeah, that's
So-
basically
Us
just,
and maybe like 12 other people.
Yeah, everyone else would probably just be like, "Oh shit, okay, this is like the prequel to Black Panther or whatever."
no, they'd be mad. They're like, why hasn't he put on the suit? And why does he have a leather jacket
Just
in
tell
hot
him-
ass LA?
Just tell everyone it's a 5-hour Black Panther movie.
That's fine. Like, wow, that first act was rough. It was really rough, guys. Really took off afterwards. So then in that weird collage of items that he found from Trish about his sister Bianca, he kept seeing all these references to this dentist. And so he goes to the dentist's office and he sees the dudes that he beat the brakes off of the day before. And they're all walking out of the dentist's office, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't see him. And so he also picks up that phone that he got, and he sees there's a number in there, Duke, and he calls it, and one of the guys picks it up. Right, this is the first time you see Duke. He's sort of the head of this Croatian group of guys.
Do people still use flip phones?
Yeah, I noticed that too. I'm like, they don't have smartphones in South Africa.
Maybe not.
No, but that's not his phone. Like that's somebody else's phone that he stole.
Oh,
Can you even
that's
buy a flip phone
That's
anymore? I don't-
that's the phone he took from the party, right?
No, that was a different phone.
That was like an app. That was an app. That was iPhone.
Yeah, no, he stole the dude's phone. He stole the dude's phone that he
the drug dealer.
Oh,
The drug
okay,
dealer's phone.
okay,
I
so
guess it's a burner. Do they still sell burners?
they do.
yeah,
Flip phones?
yeah.
I don't know that they're flip phones, but they're just like
I've seen them.
straight flip phones.
Oh,
Why do you know all about burners? Are you a drug dealer or some shit?
No,
Hmm.
I don't live in the hood.
I do.
No.
The fuck? There's no point in me denying it. You might be able to hear sirens
I
in the
just-
background of this episode.
I've just seen people with those phones.
recently?
Yeah.
Well, you hang around a criminal element. So he calls Duke's phone, and this guy picks up, and so that verifies who Duke is, and then he just hangs up. He doesn't say anything. So then Jacob goes upstairs to the doctor's office, and he meets this dentist, played by Luke Evans, Paul Wentworth, DDS. And yeah, Luke Evans is younger than Chadwick Boseman. So What? Yo, lotion, man. Everybody, y'all need to use
Luke
lotion.
Evans is 38. I think y'all like the same age, right?
Luke Evans is a year older than me. Yo,
Yeah.
Luke Evans. Yo, I look like a child. Luke Evans looks like he could be my adopted stepfather. Like, this dude looks old as shit.
I thought he was in his early.
I thought he was in his 40s too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks
Wait a
like
minute,
it.
because I thought he was like in his 40s when. What was the Fast movie he was in?
He was in Fast Six.
Fast
right?
Six.
That was like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
So he was like,
No, it was longer than 2 years ago, right?
maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Fast
was-
8 came out.
Yeah, that was like 3 years ago.
Okay, I thought
Yeah,
he
so
was
that nigga
40.
was my age.
Yeah, I thought he was 40 back then.
What am I, 30? Yeah, okay. I don't fucking know. Hold on.
Do not
Goddamn. Yeah, so he was like 36 years old
In that movie.
in that movie.
And he looked 58.
Jeez, man. Yo, they age like bananas for real.
I mean, look, he's like a handsome guy, but he does not look
Yeah,
38.
He looks.
No. He,
Yo, if
way
I look
beyond
like that
his
at 38, he was like, are you okay?
I mean, people think that you're 12 now.
I know. I mean, look, that's fine, because when I'm 50, everybody's going to be like, that young Thundercat walking down the street. That's right. Good.
Wow.
Okay.
They might not say
He's
that, but
still in his 30s. Wow.
that is ridiculous. And Chadwick Boseman was like, I am older than you. How?
Why is this a thing?
So old man Evans is like, look, man, I used to fuck with your sister. We were cool. We used to party together. No big deal.
Yo, he really looks fucking awesome.
Yo, he looks so much older than him.
Like, I'm watching this right now in this scene. He looks like he's like in his late 40s.
He does.
Yeah.
That's
I don't lotion, white people. Shea butter, cocoa butter,
Stay out the sun.
Aveeno, something, man. Just lather that shit on and just walk outside. You're gonna be all right.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but the aging process for Luke Evans has already begun. And that stone has already started rolling down that hill. It is over for you. But so he's sitting there talking to Dracula Untold, and so
He wasn't that.
yeah,
I never saw that.
I forgot about that movie.
Nobody did. Nobody did. No one saw it. So they're talking, and it's like a weird conversation. And I was going to clip this out. We don't have any clips this week because there's almost nothing to clip out. But Luke Evans makes this really weird statement that dentistry for guys is a lot like gynecology for women. I
Yeah.
was like, nigga, what?
I was like,
That was
no,
the
it's
one
not.
scene that made me look up, like, from what I was doing. I was like, what are you talking about?
Like, I wasn't even watching. I was listening.
I was like, that doesn't sound right at all.
He's like, yeah, you have them in your chair and you have their mouths open. I'm like, are you equating
your mouths
mouths
are like
with vaginas?
Yeah, I'm like, so your mouths are like vaginas? Is that
No.
Do you men feel that way?
No.
That's,
No, I
mean,
do.
it's okay.
I
No.
do not feel that way,
Like,
and it's fine if others do, but I do not feel that way.
No.
That was a really weird
who
statement.
wrote that?
Who wrote this entire movie?
I don't know what that
They really
means.
thought they were nailing that scene.
Yeah,
they were like,
I-
"Oh, this seems really smart."
Oliver Butcher and Stephen Cornwell. Are they like
Wow, two of them
And
together couldn't
they
come up.
dentists?
because like I
Yeah,
think-
they were like, "Yeah, we're nailing this DDS."
Because it's like right after the scene where the dentist said something else that's weird. He's like, yeah, just looking at his teeth, I can tell he's like very careful. He doesn't give up, and he's going to come right afterwards. I'm like, how are you getting that from his teeth?
like you can profile somebody with their teeth?
That
I
seemed
was
like a
unaware of
really
that.
Yeah,
it seemed like a
But
really odd thing.
that was supposed to be foreshadowing when we get to the end of the movie. It
So-
makes a little bit of sense once we get to the end of the movie.
Okay.
Like when I was like,
really?
yeah,
Okay, all right,
kinda.
yeah, all right.
Also,
a little bit.
They did not do a good job of, I guess, concealing Luke Evans as the bad guy, because as soon as like he showed up, I was like, this nigga did it.
He looked like he did it.
He
Like,
looked
clearly.
evil.
Yeah, because that guy should play a villain in everything because he's got an evil look.
Yeah.
He's like the main shitty cop in Detroit. Like that
Yeah.
kid can't be a hero. Like, hey everybody, like that dude's eyebrows are like, like he looks like
That little kid was in a comedy though.
that doesn't make any sense.
He was in that comedy with
Jason Sudeikis and
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston.
The Millers,
Yeah.
Meet the
Meet the
whatever
Millers.
fuck.
Yeah.
yeah. Was he an evil kid though?
No.
He should have been.
No.
He probably pushed
He was a
someone down the
virgin.
stairs. I believe that.
He played like And he's like British. Isn't
Yeah, he's
Yeah, he's
English
British.
too. But apparently he's woke as fuck.
he?
Like
Yeah,
after
Yeah, he is.
after he like made Detroit, he was like, "Yeah, now I understand my white privilege and everything." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool.
we still hate your guts.
yeah."
Stop stealing American rules. Yeah, you were way too good
Yeah.
in Detroit. I
haven't seen it yet.
I messaged him on Twitter. I was like, your performance in Detroit was great. I hated your guts the entire time. I did. He was great.
Did he respond?
Huh?
Did he respond?
No, but he should have. He was probably like, okay, crazy black man.
Luke Evans was good as a villain in Beauty and the Beast. That was his best villainous role.
Who did
for
he
me.
play?
Gaston. I can see that.
Yeah, he was good.
So, okay, here's a part of the storyline that makes no sense. Luke Evans' character, the dentist, goes to see a politician who we've seen political signs in the backgrounds of certain scenes.
Did we? I
Yeah.
didn't see those.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, Paul Leary or some shit like that. And he's running for office, the mayor, governor, president.
know.
I don't know
They never
because
said
no
anything.
one ever says anything. And he's like, "Hey, I need you to take care of a situation for me. I need a favor." And he's like, "All right, cool. What is it?" And he's basically like, "Look, I need you to fucking off this African dude." He doesn't say that, but that's obvious what's happening. And the guy's like, "All right, cool. It's $25,000
Each.
for I'm gonna hire two people to knock this guy off. It's $25,000 each." He's like, "All right, cool. One, no, I'm not paying $50,000 to have anyone murdered. That seems way too high.
So
I'll just do it myself.
the
Will you?
politician.
Send him with a car."
So what was his point?
Yeah, because I feel like this was the only scene we saw him in.
Yeah,
After
it is.
this, he wasn't in the rest of the movie.
He's in another scene.
Is he?
Is it?
Yeah, he is. He's on the tape.
Oh, is he?
Which
I
is
didn't-
why I said about the tape earlier, what the fuck was the point of that storyline? Because that went nowhere. Went
He
nowhere.
was on the table. Was he in the background?
No, he's in the foreground at one point.
Oh, your dog is snoring.
He's bored by this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, fuck this movie. You do better, Chad. Like, that's basically what he's saying at this point.
Well, he's not wrong. So then Luke Evans' character goes to see Alfred Molina's character, whose name is Mike, who is a
A movie producer?
Hollywood movie producer. And again, this is Alfred Molina, who is a great actor, who is terrible in this.
Yeah,
He's
was
awful.
Yeah.
not good. Like, he was way over the top. Now, I don't know if he was doing this on purpose because he's like, ain't nobody watching this fucking movie. I'm just gonna have fun.
They didn't develop these characters at all. At all. It's like
No.
they were just like, this is bad guy number one. This is bad guy number two. You just have to believe that they killed his sister and don't ask any questions.
That's
it.
I mean, that's pretty much
much.
it. Yeah. And there's no real motivation because you don't know anything about the characters. There's no motivation for you to care.
Right. I don't know who Bianca is. I feel like I know Trish more than I know the actual sister. I would have cared if she died. But the
Who's
sister,
Trish again?
That's the
The
neighbor.
neighbor,
Oh,
the fine neighbor.
Yes.
Yeah,
oh. She
mean-
didn't do anything for me.
yeah.
she did for me.
Apparently
Not
for
my
Chadwick
type.
too.
Yeah,
She's not my type. She's too white.
I think she's Latino.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is, but she looked too white.
I would send her a
What's
message.
her name? Natalie. Oh, Natalie Martinez. Yeah, she's born in Florida. Well, there you go.
Terrence is like, I hate her guts now. So
Out
at
of
this,
Miami.
so at this point, T'Challa is like sneaking around Doc Ock and dragging
how you
Dracula
call him
Untold's residence.
Just Dracula Untold.
Yeah, that's his name. Fuck it. You go by the names of other movies I give a shit slightly more about. And so Doc Ock is like, look, man, you like, who is this guy? And Luke Evans is like, yeah, you can tell a lot by this guy's teeth, and
Yes.
he takes care of them. And so I was like, what?
He's got like fillings and he's got crowns and like, so that means he just goes to the
Yeah.
fucking dentist.
Because
So that means he
people-
doesn't take care of his teeth because he wouldn't have all that shit if he did.
Unless you guys know I love Chadwick. But for real. Have y'all seen his teeth?
No.
They're kind of, I feel like they go like up, like this way, and they're kind of little as well. So
See, you ain't shit. You ain't shit.
That's all. Like, that's
got
why I was
little teeth?
confused about that scene because I
He
was
has
like,
little teeth. Oh, he had like big teeth. I don't know. I don't pay attention to.
I think he has an overbite.
You got an underbite.
Oh,
Didn't somebody say he had an underbite?
I don't think he does. I don't know. I like this whole scene is weird to me because
It started off weird because is that his like cabana
Man's-
boy?
yeah.
In
So
the
like
beginning? I was like,
yeah,
so Mike has like a lot of like young gay dudes around him.
right.
And like, is that a weird sort of like, that's what happens in Hollywood kind of thing? It just seemed really,
so like
I don't know. I didn't
didn't-
approve of this. And not because they're gay. I don't give a shit about that. But it's just, like, if that's the message they're trying to send, like, it's kind of weird to me. It was just
I
strange.
just thought that was like his boyfriend.
I didn't know what the fuck was happening.
Was
I'm
it,
like,
though? Or was that his assistant? Because there was the kid who was wearing, like, the makeup. And then
that's
there,
what-
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
what I'm
and then, but then
You
there's
had
the
another
other,
one.
like, gay dude,
That I
right?
thought was what's his name?
I thought the
boyfriend from a Scandal for a second. What's
Which
the
one?
guy? I've only seen the first like 3 seasons.
Oh, you gotta catch up.
I don't think I do.
No, I don't think so. That is a lie.
What's his name? Cyrus, his boyfriend, the
James.
news reporter. That's who I thought that was
I thought
in the beginning.
so. I thought the dude with the makeup was the boyfriend, and I thought that the other dude that we see later, I thought that was like the assistant because he was.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's
Anything else you need?
the guy wearing the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I thought was James from
No.
Scandal. That wasn't him.
No, that's
No,
not
that
him
was
at all.
I don't know.
They look nothing.
You're
like,
a racist. They look
Well,
nothing
that is
alike.
true.
Other than the
But
fact they're both white and wear glasses, they look nothing alike.
hold up, fuck that. Let me see.
It's not him. That
Are
that
you
guy you're
sure?
thinking from Scandal has dark hair.
Yeah.
Like jet black hair.
And he's tall.
You sure?
Nigga, yes.
Yeah, pretty sure.
I'm gonna go look this up now. 'Cause
So Chadwick is like checking them out or whatever, and he also sees Alex's son at this house, and he's like, "Oh,
I didn't even
shit."
know that was.
Me neither.
Well, because he was 95 years old. And
Because
he's like, "Yo, I'm older than Luke Evans." What's up? Even though the pictures we saw of him, he was like a kid.
Yeah. He looked like he was at least 6 in the pictures, and then when we actually see him in the movie, he looks like he's a good 13 or 15 years old.
I thought he looked older than that, but
Oh.
this
spoiler
cast
alert, he's not.
Too fucking big. I'm looking through the cast of Scandal.
It's
I ain't gonna
not
find this
him.
nigga.
It's not him.
I-
That's like that is so not him.
what is his name in the show?
Who? James.
so
I'm going to find him. James Novak.
Yes.
So Chadwick's character gets pulled over by the police. These two white cops, and they try to arrest him because he doesn't have a license because he's driving a car in America and he has an African license. And I don't think that works.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, okay, so they sent. Obviously, we know why they sent 2 cops, right? Like, because
Right.
they're racist, or whatever.
Well,
But-
and those cops are the hitmen.
and then the hitman. But I feel like saying, like, as soon as you told him to step out the car, you could have just actually just shot him and been done with it, and then it'd be like, oh, he resisted arrest. And
Yeah,
Right.
no, my life was in danger.
yeah,
And he didn't have a license or anything.
no,
Like he like this is one of those times where if they'd arrested him, okay. He ain't no fucking license.
Yeah, you can't just be
Yeah.
driving
Like,
around.
right, like I said, I left it at home. I'm like, you can't leave your license
like
at
he
home,
was,
nigga.
he was
What
about
the
to
fuck?
explain to the officer and everything. I'm like, no,
Like that's not how shit works in America.
aren't you a
dog.
cop? Like, shouldn't you know this already?
Spoilers.
Oh,
Jeez.
spoiler alert! Spoiler.
You ruined the big surprise
Spoiler alert,
for
this
no
movie's-
one who cares.
Yeah, like spoiler alert. This movie is still terrible at the end.
Yeah.
I would not disagree with that. So Chadwick is in the back of the police car,
It's not him. Okay.
and well,
Oh
very
my god!
good.
Thanks,
Yeah.
thanks, Terrence.
I'm glad you wasted all of that time and energy.
Look, I
They
had
look
to make sure.
nothing alike.
You sure?
I can.
Hold on one second.
Like, did you like want to talk about Scandal like instead or whatever?
I'm gonna avoid
No.
this movie.
So Chadwick freaks out in the back of the police car for some
Why?
reason,
Yeah, that was
I didn't understand that.
odd. I don't.
and like the police are like, "Hey, calm down," and then they go to open the
Like, shut up,
door,
nigga.
and he
So,
just kicked the door
did he-
open,
did
which
he-
is not a thing you can do in a police car. You can't kick it open.
Did he like because his hands were tied behind his back, but did he like do that whole leg thing where you pull your hands back up or whatever?
I
guess
think
he
feel
had
like he
to have
did
done
that.
that because his hands were in front of him at that point in time, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't see him do it.
like it was dark in the back of the police car, and he does something, and then it was just I don't know.
But I don't understand why he chose that moment to freak. Oh, because he was like, oh, the police are trying to kill me. They're trying to kill me because he at that point he understands it was a hitman.
But he's saying it to like this,
Like yelling to a little black girl in the back of a car.
Like, what
She's
you gonna
like,
do?
the fuck is she about to do?
Like, sorry, fam. Should have had your license with you. So then the cops chase him down and they beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And then one of the cops goes back to get the police car to come put him back in it. And then somebody drives up in a truck and distracts the cop for a few seconds. And then Chadwick escapes. So then the cop is like, oh, he got away. And so he tells the other shitbag cop, like, oh, what are we going to do? And they're like, oh, we'll just tell him he died. Like, but he didn't. And he's probably going to show up again with a bicycle chain. And then you're going to be called out for lying. So, yeah, that happens. And he gets this, Chadwick's character gets discovered by, again, serendipitously gets discovered by the prostitute from earlier who lives next door to him, who just happened to also stack groceries.
Is she the magical Negro of this movie?
She is.
Yeah.
She's
The magical white woman?
No, she's a magical tramp.
Prostitute. The magical tramp.
Yeah, magical tramp. And look, again, her passion is blowing dudes. That's not what she. That's not what she does for a day job. And so she drags bloody and beaten up Chadwick Boseman into her apartment. And she tries to save his life, and she cuts off zip ties and puts cold water on his bruises, and apparently that helps. And he's asleep for like 9 days while he recovers. And they keep showing
How
his sister
long
all
did it
fucked
take
up.
him to recover?
We don't know.
I gotta say it probably at least a day or two.
Yeah.
Because he got
He got beat the fuck up.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude, they were hitting his ass with billy clubs.
He was lumped up. But round trip tickets, right? Don't they have a time? Or can you just leave whenever the fuck you want?
Nah,
No,
you have to have a
You
time.
got to
Yeah,
stick
you
to
got-
your time frame, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't think he expected his ass to get whooped. Well, he needed like 3 days to recover, so that knocked off a couple. That knocked
You don't
off
know
some
that.
time.
You don't know
I don't.
that.
Okay.
You don't know that.
Right.
He might have been like, look, let me equate for, like, these American cops ain't shit. Let me equate for my ass getting handed to me for 3 days. So then he wakes up, and they keep showing, by the way,
Those flashbacks.
yeah, and like Luke Evans is talking to Duke, who is the head of this like Croatian gang, and Zico, who's wearing like the Hannibal Lecter clear mask, which is weird
Why was he wearing that?
because his jaw
He
got fucking
he
broke.
Beat the fuck out of him with it. He broke his jaw. They got to protect himself.
And
Really
he's
weird
talking to
that.
Duke, who Duke is easily one of the ugliest people I've ever seen. His face is like it looks like a penis. Like he does. Sorry,
Who's
dude.
Duke again? Oh,
He's
That's the
main
Russian dude.
I don't remember seeing him. What part?
Because he
of
was
the-
in the movie for like maybe
2 or 3 minutes.
yeah.
Oh yeah, there he is.
So then Chadwick is back
Probably
up.
36 years
He's
old.
awake and he's like ready to go. He goes and spends what I assume is somewhere between $60 and $100 at the hardware store on some
so
items.
At this point,
Oh, but then
He's down about another. He's got about
he probably got like
$1.50.
But why?
$125 left.
But while he was recovering, he tells a story about like why his sister came to LA in the first place.
What was it? I don't remember the story.
So
I'm
apparently, like they
I
had,
don't also remember the story.
they had another sibling. Apparently his name was Isaac. I don't know why I know this, but
Because you secretly love this movie. That's why.
sorry. It was Chadwick
you are
Boseman.
fake news.
Because Chadwick was talking.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, even he couldn't save this movie for me. So, but they had a third sibling, and he got sent to prison. Apparently, this one was known as the good person or the good sibling.
The one that got sent to prison?
Yeah, right. And then he died in a turf war with the gang. And then the sister left and went to LA because she blamed Chadwick Boseman for not doing anything to prevent their brother's death.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
And they show that through flashbacks too, I think.
He was having like acid trips and shit in that section. Like,
Yeah, well, you get a billy club across your head a couple of times. You start seeing stars and fake beaches that don't exist.
And I guess that part was so that we could care about him and Bianca's relationship.
I suppose. I didn't.
Didn't work.
Again,
No.
I didn't even remember that story you just told me.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
new. That's new.
I
to me.
literally watched this movie an hour ago. An hour ago. And I did not care then.
Wow.
And I do not care
It
now.
was like a 5-minute scene.
Was it?
Yeah, it was pretty long. It was why he was recovering from being beaten up by.
I think I was playing a racing game on my phone at the time. I'm not gonna lie. Like this movie really didn't do anything for me. By the way, what was a worse movie? Gimme the Loot, which I actually liked. You did not like, Terrence. Nas and Malik, which we both hated, or this. What's the worst of the three?
Nas and Malik.
Yeah, okay, that is the
Yeah.
correct answer.
Wow.
Because that movie was universally just bad.
Yeah, that movie.
Except the chicken
Nothing
scene.
fucking.
The chicken scene is amazing.
Nothing happened in that. Did
I listened to the
Listen to that.
episode. I'm not going to watch
No,
it.
don't even bother. Don't
No.
even bother.
Somebody messaged us and they were like, I'm mad at you for making me watch this. I was like, I didn't tell you. We told you not to watch that movie. And they were like, I just wanted to keep up as I was going through the podcast. I was like, well, you brought this on yourself.
And the thing
Yeah,
is,
yeah, sometimes
This
you
movie
just
is
don't-
bad, but it's not even like the fun type of bad. It could have
Right.
been that.
If this was like Taken,
Right.
I would have been totally fine with this movie.
It
and
was
had a good
just
time.
boring.
It was boring.
Yeah, this is just like Jesus Christ, dude. Can we please?
Get to the end.
Why is this 140? What is this? Why is
This movie could have been.
an hour and? 40
This movie could have been a clip on YouTube. Like, it could have been a 5-minute clip.
Like
So-
the trailer's better. That could
Yeah.
be the movie.
Yeah. So message from the king at this point, he is building a pipe bomb because that's what people in Africa do, I guess. And meanwhile, Alfred Molina is being sung to by his boyfriend who's wearing way too much makeup. Whose eyebrows I guess are on fleek. I don't remember.
We don't say that anymore.
Yeah,
Is that-
it's old.
It's 2017 now. We don't say that.
What's the proper term?
Oh, I don't know.
All right.
I don't know what these kids say nowadays.
You're one of those kids. You're like 19 years old. Get out of here.
Boy, please. I am 22.
You are the youngest person who's ever been on this episode
Oh,
or on this on the show. So there you go.
Oh.
That is true.
okay. That makes me feel good. I like that.
Yeah, because we're all old.
Yeah. Yeah.
That dude's face is fucked up in the scene. God damn. So the Greek people or Croatian or whatever the fuck they are, the penis head gang, they decide, like, they realize that Chadwick's car that he was driving belongs to this other woman. So they're gonna go after her, the prostitute. And Chadwick builds his little bomb, takes it up to Doc Ock's house, and he's like, "Look, I need you to play this video for me. You have the username and password."
Wait, I'm sorry.
That was Doc Ock?
Yeah, that's Alfred Molina.
Yeah, from Spider-Man 2. Where the fuck did he get these rolls of money that he put in the bag in the beginning?
Don't know. Don't know.
Like, he's building the pipe bomb, and this is before he beat the shit out of somebody and stole money. Did he take it from the drug dealer? He took
Yes.
his phone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he
took it
did.
from Draco
Yeah, he did.
Malfoy because he took a bunch of drugs.
He took. I see. He took the cocaine. Oh, so
yeah,
he did take.
yeah, he did take
Okay,
the
'cause I'm
money.
about to say,
So
what the
now
fuck is going on?
his budget of $150
So now he can
left.
say,
yeah.
so now he can say even later and not really worry about wasting that round trip ticket money.
Yeah.
about it.
So he got a couple bucks in the pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably like a lot. Fucking drug dealer.
Yeah.
So he's fine. Okay.
He's doing all right.
We're good.
So Alfred Molina's character plays this tape, this SD card or whatever, and it's a video of Bianca. She ain't got no top on. There's a bunch of people having sex, and this is where the politician, he's in the video. And in the video, Mike, played by Alfred Molina, is there with that kid.
That kid never has a shirt on throughout this whole movie.
Yeah, because that's the way Mike's pedophilic ass likes it.
Oh, that was the kid. I kept on thinking that was the neighbor for some reason.
Wait, who?
The neighbor, the
Trish?
Trish girl. I thought, yeah, that's how I thought that was. I was like, man, that doesn't look like the same chick. Who is that?
What,
No,
that
that-
was giving,
that's-
what's his name, a hug
Yes.
in that part?
That's
Oh,
a
I didn't-
dude.
Oh, my bad.
You really weren't paying attention.
No.
But somehow you paid attention to that
Listen,
fucking story he told when he
like
was
I told
knocked
you,
out.
I fell asleep and then I watched it again in the middle of the night, like 3 in the morning, for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man. Okay, so that was the kid who's
Yeah, whose name is
wow.
Arman. Armin.
Yeah,
by the
that's a
way.
weird name for a kid nowadays. Armand. You know any Armands?
I knew an Armin in high school, but not Armand.
Nah, I don't know any.
Yeah, like in 2016.
So these women in the background are all like fucking everybody and everything, and he apparently is cool with fucking a young boy because he's a pedophile. And again, that politician is in the scene fucking around with Bianca. So that was supposed to be like, oh, the politician is also corrupted. He's in this whole thing. He's in a room with pedophilia going on and prostitutes and drugs and all that stuff. But nothing happens with that fucking storyline. Nothing happens to him. Nothing. He doesn't get busted by the cops or they're like, oh, we've got the tape. Like, nothing happened. So what the fuck was he in the movie for?
How long was production on this movie? It feels like they wrote this in like 2 weeks. Because this whole entire... Because I feel like there's so many plot holes and so many things they could have done with this film to make it a lot better. But no, just... That's one big thing. That's...
Was he jerking him off?
The kid?
Yeah. I think he was.
Because
that's
the
what
kid
made
like
this,
moving or whatever?
That's what made this sequence incredibly uncomfortable. You didn't hear the sound. I was like, I don't like this.
Because he
Oh,
at all.
really?
Because he was like, tell me that you love me or whatever.
Yeah, and he was fucking... Somebody was jerking somebody off in that sequence.
I thought it was
like,
a dude who was jerking off.
That's fucking gross.
I mean...
Like,
and it's only
that.
by the way, it's only gross because that kid's like 14. Like if it was just two dudes, like whatever, I'm not into it, but like, you know,
No, it's a kid.
yeah, he's a fucking child. Like,
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't like this at all.
yeah, I'm not okay with that.
Wow.
So
That's why he's like, what are you doing with the boy? When he
Yeah.
screamed that shit out. He was really fucking mad.
he was like, you know what I was doing.
Are you sure this is not the same dude from fucking...
It's not the same dude. God damn it.
Boy.
That is
I'm
not
looking
it.
at him. Okay. I've seen him. Is that Clay Aiken?
It might be.
Maybe.
So then Alfred Molina
By the
thinks,
way, do we get to that part yet where he's like, hey,
you gotta go?
you gotta... No, not when he shoots him in the head, but when his homeboy comes in and sees what's going on.
No, not yet. So he's like, Alfred Molina pulls a gun and he's like, oh, you wanted $750,000 from me, even though that's not true. Luke Evans lied and said that. So then, of course, King beats the shit out of Alfred Molina.
It was like breaking and entering. I feared for my life. Plus, you're black. He got fucking mad. Like, bitch! Slapped the gun out of his hand. That just set him off.
That was one of the realest moments of this movie.
Yeah, I was like, yo, what? Come on, man. You don't have to bring racism into this shit.
I ain't like the way he said black.
And you're black.
Plus, you're black.
I'm like, nope.
You know you're going to jail now, boy. So then he ties them up with duct tape and he gets Alfred Molina's assistant, other man toy, I don't know, to call Luke Evans' character and be like, hey, man, come on over to the house. Mike killed himself and there's money everywhere.
Yeah, this was the part where I'm like, this was probably the best acting in the movie. Because that motherfucker was terrified.
Yeah.
When he walks in the door, he was like screaming, like, please don't kill me. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. I think Chadwick Boseman really didn't like this nigga
No.
on set.
You're like,
Because it seemed like he was very scared of him. And I'm like, well.
And then Chadwick Boseman just takes all the money out of the safe. And this took a turn I did not think was going to happen. He was just like, ah! And just fucking shot Mike right in the head. Using a pillow as a silencer. Which, I mean...
You gotta go, dog.
That makes sense.
I mean, look,
Yeah.
I get it.
You're child
I'm not against it. But I was just like, I did not think that was going to happen.
Yeah.
This is Jacob King. I'm at Preston's. Dr. Wentworth is on his way. Come get your money. Bam! Just fucking shot the dude in the head. And that's who he was calling. He was calling Duke, the guy with the penis face. And so, yeah, he just rolls up, fucking puts a pillow up to his head and fucking blows his head off. God bless him. And then Luke Evans shows up. And this is kind of fucked up. He's like, hey, man, there's like money everywhere. And Luke Evans is like, no, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's good. And he just fucking pulls out a knife and stabs the fucking assistant in the neck. Not even quickly. He was just like, and fucking murdered him and just tried to roll out with all the money.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
Yeah.
It was very violent.
Yeah, it was like super violent for this
Like-
movie, which
Yeah.
I didn't see coming.
Was this movie rated R?
Was it rated anything?
Like, who cares? Rated, don't watch. He just killed that guy. That was cool. So then he takes Armin. He leaves with Armin.
Armin.
Armin didn't want to leave.
No.
It's like, don't touch me. But
And then all the Russians roll up, and Mike's boyfriend, the one with all the makeup, he literally looks like a clown that just got done performing that just took its wig off.
Oh.
He does. He looks ridiculous.
Hey,
You like, come on, man. Like, look, if you dudes want to wear makeup, that's fine, dude. But you look like a freak, like a weirdo. So Zico and his boys show up. They're going to look for Mike. My dog is pissed that we're still talking about this movie. And so then Duke and Luke Evans go sit in the car, and they take the bag with all this money or what have you, and they go sit in the car, and it's got the pipe bomb in it, and it explodes, killing both of them. Oh well. I wish I could care because I don't care about any of these characters.
bad guys, you're not supposed to care about them dying, right?
Nope.
Satisfaction.
Yeah, it felt good.
I was like,
I don't even think I cared like one way or the other. I was just like,
I literally didn't care. Everyone could have died in this movie, and I would have been okay.
Yeah, a nuke could have hit California. I'd have been like, all right,
Yeah.
good. End of movie.
yep.
Justice.
I still don't understand the point of Duke at this point.
He was just a Russian. What was Duke?
He looked like Joe Camel.
He has a long nose.
Like his nose and the rest of his face kind of goes into a point.
Remember the part in Beetlejuice where the father like takes his face and like stretches it forward and like puts his eyes on it? That's what he looks like.
That seems fair.
Like, I just didn't understand like why he needed to be in the movie. Why was he a character?
There's no reason for him to be a character. Chadwick Boseman's character gets back to the prostitute and her daughter's house. He's attacked by Zico, who was already there. And then the prostitute comes in, and Chadwick is getting his ass kicked. Prostitute comes in. She's like, "Not on my watch, motherfucker!" And she just bashes him with a fucking glass coffee pot, knocking Zico down. And then Chadwick Boseman gets all this energy, gets up and just stomps him to death, Drive style. Which I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was great. He was getting beat with a pipe.
Yeah, you're not just gonna get up.
Yeah.
Profusely.
Yeah.
I was like, he's gonna die in
I
this
was like,
scene.
yeah, this is fucked up. Unless his fucking jacket was made of vibranium, which this might be a prequel.
Maybe.
Because there's no fucking way.
God damn it.
He literally got beat with a pipe for like 45 seconds.
Yeah.
And he just got up like he got a second win.
Yeah, he was just
stomped
like,
this dude out.
he was like,
I'm
"Oh,
good.
yeah, we're good. We're good. Just
That
shake it
was
off.
a good warm up there. I'm like, nah, yeah.
This movie.
So while he's getting while Zico was putting in pipe work on pause. On Chadwick Boseman's
Chadwick. Okay.
Armin runs away, and after Chadwick's character stomps Zico to death, I guess, he runs out after him. He's like,
How does that situation play out when the cops show up?
"So what
what
happened
happened
to this
here?
guy?" The guy only pays $65 a night. I didn't sign up for this. And so Armin runs away, and he's just
gone.
back. He's back on the streets as, I guess, some sort of like prostitute or whatever.
What does that mean? What's the message?
I don't know.
A lot of gay kids are on the streets for prostitution.
Yeah, that's true. But like,
Is that the message? I don't
I
know.
don't
in terms of this movie,
I don't even know
What do
why
we do?
Armin was even here.
why
I don't
did
know
they-
either.
He didn't have to be a character either.
Duke didn't need to be in this movie. Armin didn't need to be in this movie. Zico is only in this movie to get the brakes beaten
Right.
off of him and then eventually
And
murdered.
that's
multiple
it.
times.
And yeah, I think that's about it.
I think the dentist. This movie could have just been Alfred Molina, the dentist, and Chadwick Boseman's character sitting in a room across from each other, just talking,
Right.
and it would have made more sense for those characters.
I think I would have liked to see Bianca, like actually the actress play her,
Yeah,
and
actually
maybe
be in the movie.
yeah, and then
not
maybe
in-
see her die or whatever.
Is this basically a bastardized version of Bad Boys 1.
I don't remember Bad Boys 1.
Bad Boys 1. What happened in that?
Remember?
What's her name? She was a
Taya
prostitute. Taya Leone, and what's her name dies.
Yeah,
Dude kills
the
her.
girlfriend of Mike Lowry. She,
Oh yeah,
Yeah, she gets
Yeah.
shot at the party.
and then it's a revenge movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Bad Boys 1, but not as good at all. and one less bad boy.
Yeah.
So Mike Lowry takes the prostitute and her daughter, puts them on a bus to Albuquerque, gives them a bag, and he's like, "All right, get the fuck out of here." And she opens the bag on the.
He
on
gave
the
them
bus.
all the money.
Yeah,
I don't like that at all.
it doesn't make any like. This is where the movie goes off the rails for me because that makes no sense. I'm like, why? Like, why would you do that?
What?
I'd be like, here's a couple of dollars. Like,
you came here with $600. You need to keep some of that cash.
yeah.
Would it get through customs?
Nah, you just no. What you do is you launder that money. You buy things with it that you can take back.
Okay.
Everybody knows you go and you buy a really expensive watch.
I didn't know that.
You can take that on with you. That's how you launder money, and then you sell it once you're back in South Africa.
What else do you know about
Ozark.
money laundering?
I learned that by listening
Watch-
to an interview with the guy who runs Vice. He was like, "That's what people do." He was like, "That's why they have really expensive jewelry stores all by the big major casinos around the world." He's like, "That's how people launder money."
Jesus.
Wow.
I was like, that's
I
actually
just thought
a
you learned it from Ozark.
I mean, basically, that's what, build a church, That's how,
Buy a burger joint, $5 gas.
Hey, man, think about it. So then Chadwick Boseman's like, all right, cool, I'm done killing people, so I'm going to head back to South Africa. He gets back to South Africa. When he gets back, there's a couple of cops waiting outside. I was like, oh, shit, son, you in trouble now. Oh, no. And it was like kind of like almost like Frank Dukes in Bloodsport. Like when they're like waiting on you, like, where you been?
Yeah.
Like, what have you been doing, Frank? And they're like, hey, what's going on, detective? How are you doing? Because
Give him a salute.
you're,
I'm like,
surprise, you're a cop. And it was like, oh, so the cops in South Africa think it's cool to just come to America and just kill American citizens.
Yeah.
Okay, is that the lesson we're learning here?
I guess, and they were also like, well, how was your holiday? So I guess they thought he was just going on vacation. And he actually really just went to go kill
Like, did
some
you meet up with your
Americans.
sister? She was like, yeah.
And
She's fine.
Yeah. So why did he lie then? For the same reason that he lied in the beginning? Because he didn't want, I guess, to draw attention to himself?
Yeah.
Oh.
So now he left his dead sister, who he professed to care a lot about, he left her in a morgue with no foot and no eyes and a bashed face. But that's okay because he's back in Africa where nothing else matters, I guess.
And then we get another flashback of them playing soccer.
Where is she going to be buried? In an unmarked grave that you never know about?
Yeah, or she'll probably just be cremated.
Yeah, more than likely. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have
give a fuck
another
about
Is that the message from the king? Don't give a fuck about your family by the end? It's
Yeah.
fucked up.
Don't move to America.
Yeah, look, I'm
Just
telling you, this
fucking forget
is an
about it.
allegory for slavery. Don't take that fucking boat ride.
Yeah. Chop off your foot.
Executive
Apparently.
producer, Chadwick Boseman.
Oh, no.
God damn it,
Oh,
Chad.
no, baby. What was you doing?
Exactly.
I'm telling you, dude, he had to buy some Yeezys, and he was like, look, I'll just pay for him out of this.
So did your score change?
Yes.
To what?
It's a 1. It's a 1 all the way around.
This shit was not good.
No, it was
Not
not.
good at all.
So we are going to be back next week with a preview episode, but we will be off for a full episode that following week, and then we will come back and we will do something that is worth a damn. I promise you. I thought this was going to be worth a damn.
Yeah, me too.
So did
It
I.
was- Look. Look, here's the thing. Let me. We will bring you back on a movie that doesn't suck. But I promise you, whether the movie that we choose next sucks or not, it will be highly entertaining. Highly entertaining. But I'm going to try to find something that I know will generate a good conversation. Not like this. Not like
This
this.
movie was really bad, y'all. Don't watch it.
Yeah, don't watch this. Watch anything else. Go watch Ozark. Go watch The Defenders.
Go watch Friends from College.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Actually, Mike and I are going to do a special little episode about that. So make sure that if you're listening to this or watching this on YouTube, make sure you go subscribe to our other YouTube channel, The Nerdpocalypse, where you can go to youtube.com/The Nerdpocalypse. That's our show that Terrence and I, Micah, and Jack do. which is about movies and TV and that sort of stuff that we do. And we have a lot of fun. If you think we're fucking ridiculous on this show, you have no idea. So check that out. We do short movie reviews. We have a segment called Coming Distractions that we do little short movie reviews of things like Girl Trip and the new movie Good Time, and what was the other one? The Hitman's Bodyguard we did this week. So go check those things out. You can go to thenerdpocalypse.com to see that stuff as well. But of course, make sure you tell people about this show. We would really appreciate it. We see people talking about it. Also, go check out our political show, Look Forward, which is just a podcast you can find on iTunes, Google Play, that sort of thing as well. So check those out, and we will see you guys next time.
Take it easy.
Bye.
We out.